What's up, everybody? My name is David McClintock, and I just wanted to come real quick here and tell you my story. Not a story about salvation, not a story about how I came to know God, but a story about how I came to come into Valor Christian College, my journey, and also my experience with the whole thing all together. So pay attention and stay with me, okay? It all started first off back when I believe I was 17, 18 years old. I was coming out of high school and I was about to make my decision on what college I was going to go to. A part of my thinking was, okay, maybe I can be a police officer. Maybe I could be a doctor, but I really felt the Lord calling me to ministry. And at the time, I knew, okay, if I'm gonna be in ministry, I'm gonna need to have all the knowledge, all the resources, and I'm gonna need to have that experience. And so I went to my parents. My mom and dad had actually been college students at Valor Christian College, which at the time was World Harvest Bible College, and they said, "Son, now listen. We want you to go there, okay? We want you to be a part of that college, and we will pay your whole bill if you'll just go." But the problem was, I was a little apprehensive at the time, being a young man, not knowing where my life would end up, not knowing which path I should really take. And so even though I got that crazy offer of them basically paying the whole bill, what happened was I got scared. I got apprehensive, and I felt like at the time I couldn't leave them behind. I couldn't leave the church behind because of different responsibilities. So what ended up happening was I kind of went my own route and kind of strayed away from the calling for quite some time. And long story short, grow up, get married, I'm in ministry, have a family, and we come to present day about 2 years ago at what our church calls Fire and Glory Camp Meeting. Here's what happens. Fire and Glory Camp Meeting is like our church's Dominion Camp Meeting for our church back home. And so what was happening is I'm the sound guy, I'm the marketing guy, I'm the drummer, I'm the media director, I'm kind of the do-it-all guy. And also that year, I also was honored to speak on Sunday morning. I knew going into it that it was going to be one of the most important sermons I had ever preached. Now listen, every sermon is important, but there are some that are what we call landmark sermons. And so I knew going into that I needed to grind, hit deep, hit the prayer closet, hit the word. And I remember studying and studying and studying and studying and studying, and just felt like the studying just went on forever. And then the conference started, and finally Sunday came, and it was my time to speak to the people. And I remember the Spirit of the Lord just hit me so strong. And I remember preaching such an on-time word, basically about being the salt of the world. And it was such a powerful sermon. Well, what I didn't realize is that Bishop David Amos was there at Fire and Glory Camp Meeting. And what was so awesome is that I was preaching in the morning, he was preaching at the night, and so he came to the Sunday morning service and heard me preach. And man, I'll tell you what, on that Sunday morning service, we threw down. Lives were changed, bondages were broken, yokes were destroyed. It was such an honor to be used by the Lord in that way. Well, Bishop David Amos heard. We go back to the ministry luncheon after the sermon, and we sit down, we're eating. I'm thanking God for all that he did. And Bishop David, with his deep voice, he's like, "Son, very good job preaching. Very, very, very good job." And I felt so honored. I was like, man, to get that from Bishop David Amos, that's incredible, because y'all know he's under Pastor Rob Parsley. And I'm like, yo, that's an honor, man. That's crazy awesome. And so we began to talk, we began to conversate, and basically what he said was, he gave me some feedback on the sermon, some different compliments that way. And he said that he's like, "Hey, we've got to get you to a Valor service one of these times, because you're relatable and you're down to the point and other stuff that way." And so anyways, long story short, he asked a big question, a question that is determined this video right here. And the question was, what kind of education do you have? Because we can't invite you if you don't have the proper education, right? Which is totally understandable, and that's great protocol. And So I kind of gave Bishop David Amos my story. I had gone to another online school, but it wasn't fully accredited. So he said this. He said, listen, you will never regret getting further education and growing, as well as getting these classes to really grow spiritually. And having that stamp of approval is really going to get you further than you could by yourselves. Because many times you have to understand, a breakthrough comes through relationships. Some breakthrough comes from God, and some of it comes through God-given relationships. And so basically what he was saying was, if you want this relationship, you've got to have that stamp of approval, right? And so we began to conversate, and he said, well, what's the reason why you didn't go to Valor? Or you're not going right now? And basically I said, hey man, it's finances. I've got a kid, I've got a wife. Finances are a big thing. He said, give me a minute. He called up his assistant. Right then and there, they gave me the bishop's scholarship because my father, Bishop Don, is a part of City Harvest Network. So because of that, I was able to come right into Valor Christian College online program. And as you can see, I'm in Springfield, Missouri, but we're learning about communication. And it's been quite the journey. I've enjoyed it. I've experienced many different growths in my beliefs, in my foundation, and everything that I am. It's this online experience with Valor Christian College has helped me go deeper in my Bible study, go deeper in the way I write my sermons. This class itself has helped me to go deeper in communicating with others. And I will say, let me tell you, it has been quite the experience doing online because right now I'm 29, I'll be 30 this year. So coming out of a time when I was kind of doing things at my own pace to coming to a class set where it's like, hey, this is due by Thursday, this is due by Sunday. It kind of really kicked my brain into gear, so to speak. And so I've had to adapt, I've had to grow, I've had to kick up the pace, I guess you could say, because not only am I doing online classes, I also do all the online marketing for my church. I speak at my church, I lead the youth, I train drummers, I lead the media team, I lead the maintenance crew. I'm kind of the do-it-all guy. And then on top of that, I also have a 2-year-old daughter who right now we're trying to potty train, say a prayer for me, for your boy. You can see my hair slowly going back. That's because I'm trying to do all this on top of, I have married to my beautiful wife, trying to maintain that relationship, keep it passionate and loving. And so it has been quite the experience, but it's one I'm grateful for, one I'm honored for, and one that has impacted my life. I can truly say that Valor Christian College has helped me grow exponentially in my preaching, in my prayer life, my Bible study life, in my thinking, and every aspect. And so that has been my journey to Valor and how it has affected me. Thank you.